With clean, unobstructed waterways, Bristol Bay generates some of the largest runs of wild salmon in the world. Each year, millions of fish return from sea to the freshwater streams of their birth. King salmon, sockeye, chum salmon, pinks, and coho, the rivers of Bristol Bay often produce record returns of king and sockeye salmon. Of all the salmon, sockeye is the most commercially valuable in Bristol Bay. Worth roughly $400 million each year to the people of Alaska, these runs average 30 million fish or more. They are an important part of history, life, and culture. They are the center of an abundant landscape, supporting other fish such as grayling, sculpin, whitefish, and a great many mammals, birds, and even bugs. Alaska, big and small, is dependent on wild salmon. It's a pillar of the food chain and one of the great wonders of nature. In the dead of winter, the eggs of sockeye thrive on upwelling groundwater until they hatch into alevin, which live off a nutrient-filled yolk sac. After several weeks, they wiggle up through the gravel and grow into fry. They thrive in pristine freshwater lakes and streams, feeding on algae, insects, and smaller fish. They eat and get eaten. Salmon fry are prey to bigger fish like trout, grayling, and a wide variety of birds. One to 3 years later, they've grown into smolt and begin to migrate out of lakes and rivers toward coastal estuaries. Most of this outmigration occurs under cover of night to avoid predation. Salmon smolt are a favorite food of beluga whales. Once in saltwater, they travel first along the Alaska Peninsula, then far into the Bering Sea. Many travel through Aleutian passes into the North Pacific. Bristol Bay sockeye generally stay at sea for 3 years, traveling thousands of miles. They are food for dogfish, shark, seabirds, and others as far away as Kamchatka. At the end of the ocean period, they start the long trip back home to spawn another generation. How they find their way is one of the great mysteries of the world. It's possible they can visually orient off the sun and moon. Many think they are sensitive to the Earth's electromagnetic field and use it as a compass, just like migrating birds. As they get closer to fresh water, it's clear they rely on their sense of smell. Salmon can detect chemical concentration in parts per trillion. This ability makes for an incredible degree of sensitivity. The salmon run in Bristol Bay is not made of one run, but hundreds of runs, with populations of salmon each going to their own particular stream in a dense network of streams. They start following the map of different scents, chemical cues, and water types imprinted during their outmigration. Each of these smaller populations show different adaptations to parasites, disease, water chemistry, and even stream temperature. This biodiversity keeps the overall population healthy and at a sustainable average. Once in fresh water, salmon stop eating and push upriver, traveling many miles and days without rest. They have the athletic ability to swim against strong current and jump high waterfalls. Over the course of their freshwater journey, they burn up most of their fat and their bodies start to deteriorate. Sockeye change from bright ocean-run silver to a dark red and green. They develop a hooked nose, sharp teeth, and a humped back. The return of salmon is eagerly awaited all around Alaska. By everyone. Orca patrol the coast, seals congregate at river mouths, fishermen start gearing up, and bears gather on the rivers. Birds and mammals come from miles around. With the long days of summer, the hungry won't rest. It's a dense and formidable gauntlet. Only the strong and the luckiest get through to spawn. When they reach the place where they themselves were hatched, female sockeye look for an upwelling of groundwater. This keeps the eggs from freezing during winter and ensures a constant supply of oxygen. Of the millions of fry that started life, only a small percentage live to spawn as full-grown salmon. Several days after spawning, these fish will die with the rest. Along the way, at all stages of life, Bristol Bay salmon have been an important source of food, from the lakes, rivers, and streams of Alaska to distant oceans. Bears, birds, and other animals carry salmon carcasses and salmon-filled scat deep into the grass and woods. Decomposing salmon sustain communities of algae, bacteria, and invertebrates. They fertilize vegetation and enrich the water. Even back out to sea, where nutrient-charged water flows downriver to wading halibut and other ocean life. From people to bears to flies around the bears and the grass we walk on, salmon leave a wide footprint. They are the lifeblood of over 100 types of mammals, birds, and fish throughout the summer and over winter. Salmon are an essential part in the complex cycle of life and death, a keystone species. They are a bellwether for the seasons that carry a timeless, ancient rhythm for Alaska. Bristol Bay salmon, a world-class resource, a national treasure.